Hello everyone, this is Alex again from Swoosh English. So yesterday I started the series all about the biggest OET writing mistakes that students make. And yesterday we talked about selecting case notes and a lot of students just including every single bit of information that they get from those case notes in their letter. And it's all about really satisfying the task that you are given. So really looking at that immediately and finding out what you need to do and then looking for the relevant information. Today's video, mistake number 2, is all about writing either too much or writing too little. So as a lot of students become fixated on this 180 to 200 words, which is not a set, fixed rule. Okay, it's not a rule that's set by the OET. You must write between these guidelines. Okay, it's just a guide. It's just for you to understand that you shouldn't write 1,000 words, okay, or you shouldn't write 10 words. It's just a suggested guide for you to follow. And really the big mistake that I'm seeing is when students are writing too much, they are not satisfying the task set. So it means, and it really relates to yesterday's problem, that they've actually included too much information and, you know, they've gone way overboard. I mean, some students I've seen, every now and again, I look in different Facebook groups and I see the letters that nurses and doctors are writing. And I think, whoa, you know, 350, 400 words once I start to have a look at it. And I don't even need to count that number of words. I can just see that's way, way, way too much. So that means that you've not selected the case notes correctly. You know, if you've got a painful wrist, okay, at the end of that 45 minutes writing examination, and you've been literally like this non-stop, it indicates a lot of things. It indicates A, that you've probably written too much, okay? B, it means that you've not really proofread what you did because, you know, you should be spending at least a few minutes, if not 5 minutes at the end, proofreading to make sure that you have grammatical accuracy, make sure your structure's correct, you know, just can't just go through everything, make sure you've not made any mistakes. So really that is key. So that if it's too much, okay, but then on the other side, you could have too little. You know, some students, they get worried, they get pressured when they look around in the exam room and they see other students going, you know, maybe they're writing a lot and they think, I don't know how to do this task. Maybe they're spending too long, you know, reading through the case notes, etc., and not kind of having this feeling of inaction. So if you're writing if you're writing, for example, you know, 90, 100 words, okay, you're probably not satisfied the task set. That's why they give you that guide of at least 180 words. Of course, if you wrote, you know, 175 words, but you did everything that the task asked you to do, then there wouldn't be a problem there. You wouldn't get penalized because that's a very, very common question that we receive again and again and again. So stick to that guide, but don't become obsessed with it, okay? It's just a suggestion for you. I wouldn't recommend you to count the number of words that you have in your examination. Time is limited. What I would say is if you did want to have a rough idea of how much you're writing, you can, you know, in your practice, in your preparation, you could go through and say, okay, usually I write 10 words per sentence. You could literally just very quickly count the number of sentences that you've written. So say, for example, you've written 19 sentences in the exam. Okay, you can just have a very quick count, probably take you 10 seconds just to count 19 sentences. And you can say, okay, 19 times by 10 words is about 190 words. Perfect. Okay, I'm between that guide. But of course, like I said before, if you're outside of that 180 words, you're a little bit less or a little bit more, there's no penalty. They're not going to take any marks away from you. So this is the big mistake that I'm seeing again and again. You should be aiming for that guide in your preparation. Don't write too much, but then again, don't write too little, okay? It's not a case of, like I said before, you write 100 words and the OET go, okay, penalty, take away, I'm going to take away marks. They're really seeing, have you satisfied the task you have been given? So that will really give them an indication whether you've, you know, depending on the amount of words that you have written for your letter. So that was mistake number 2. Hopefully this was helpful to you today. We've got a huge announcement that I'm very excited about tomorrow, because I know there's a lot of students who have their examinations upcoming. They are feeling very frustrated and worried about their OET writing exam. I'm getting many emails and Facebook messages, YouTube messages from people who have said that they failed on their OET writing. Maybe they got BBBC, and I've had a lot of people send me messages about that C, particularly in the writing section. So we want to help you with that. So I'm going to be telling you about a huge announcement tomorrow. Make sure you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/swoosh English, because 3:30 p.m. UK time, you can check the time in your country. We are going to have a free Facebook OET writing class with myself and Fiona, one of our UK OET teachers. So we'll go through a lot of this in more detail. If it's your first class with a UK native or a native English speaking OET teacher, you're in for a real treat. So we're going to be having that tomorrow. Any questions on today's video, feel free to put them in the message box below. And tomorrow I will be doing mistake number 3 for OET writing that we're seeing again and again and again. Swoosh English, we're helping hundreds of students with their OET right now. So we look forward to helping you, and get ready for the big announcement tomorrow, which will be Friday.